The senator from Delaware.
Madam President, I am delighted to serve on at least one committee with you. And we have had the opportunity of late to have a number of folks come before us who've been nominated to serve. One of those is a Coast Guard Admiral, Vice Admiral. His name's Peter Neffenger. And I'm delighted today to rise in strong support of Admiral Neffenger to serve as the administrator of the Transportation Security Administration, affectionately known as TSA. The women and men of TSA work in a very challenging environment to keep our aviation system, and those of us who use it, safe and secure. Their mission is made all the more challenging by two difficult and diametrically opposed tasks that we ask them to perform. On the one hand, we ask TSA to screen some 1.8 million passengers and their luggage every day, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, without allowing a single dangerous individual, not one, or a dangerous item to get through. On the other hand, we ask TSA to perform the screening as fast as possible so that travelers do not miss their flights and luggage and cargo get to their destination on time. And everybody's happy. That's what we ask them to do. TSA's job is most days a thankless one, and for which the agency and its employees are rarely commended, but often criticized. Can TSA do a better job? You bet they can. We all can do a better job. We can do a better job here in the United States Senate. A couple of weeks ago on the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, for example, we heard from the Department of Homeland Security's Inspector General about several troubling security vulnerabilities at our airports. The IG's findings were more than troubling. They were unacceptable. TSA can and must do better, but it's not all on them. We can help. As our presiding officers oftentimes heard me talk about Home Depot, you can do it, we can help. And the same is true here. TSA and employees, they can do it, we can help, and we have an obligation to do that. And one of the ways we can help them do their jobs better is by voting in support of the President's nominee for TSA Administrator, Admiral Peter Neffenger. Admiral Neffenger has served as a commissioned officer in the Coast Guard since 1982, assuming the position of Vice Commandant in May of 2014. Throughout his nearly 34-year career in the U.S. Coast Guard, Admiral Neffenger has displayed exceptional leadership skills and the will to confront big challenges. These qualities will be very important if he's confirmed. I hope he will be as our next TSA administrator. Let me just take a moment, if I can, to share with my colleagues a few things that I've learned about the Admiral during this nominating process. First, Admiral Neffenger has a clear vision for TSA. He said the agency must strive to be an intelligence-driven, risk-based counterterrorism agency. Second, he's acknowledged the difficult challenges facing TSA today, but more importantly, he's committed to addressing them head-on and striving for perfection. And finally, I've learned that he's committed to working with Congress, with the Inspector General, with GAO, General Accountability Office, and with the stakeholders to improve TSA. But you don't have to take my word for it. Admiral Neffenger has received the support of all three former secretaries of Homeland Security. Here's how one former secretary of DHS said. My old friend Tom Ridge wrote this about Admiral Neffenger. He said the nominees, and this is his quote from Tom Ridge, experience is broad, the nominee's experience is broad, his reputation superb, and his commitment to public service profound and unquestionable, close quote. After meeting with and getting to know Admiral Neffenger, I could not agree more. I want to thank Chairman Thune and Ranking Member Nelson, who's here on the floor today, of the Commerce Committee for working closely with our committee. Presiding officer of our session here today is our Chairman of Homeland Security. I want to thank all of you for working closely with our committee to advance Admiral Neffenger's nomination. And I want to thank Chairman Johnson and his staff for acting swiftly on the nomination so that it could be considered by our Senate today. In less than 2 weeks, we will celebrate the 239th anniversary of our nation's independence. On the days surrounding that celebration, millions of Americans will be traveling to spend time with their families and their friends. We owe it to each of them to have a permanent, Senate-confirmed TSA administrator in place. The President's given us a great name, a good man, a good leader, and I would urge my colleagues to join me in voting today for Peter Neffenger. With that, Mr. President, thank you.